Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Kunja Vihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर नवदीप धाम की जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की मथुरा धाम की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र महारानी की श्री श्री निताय गौर सुंदर की श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की श्री श्री राधा माधव की श्री कृष्ण भगवान की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram jaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tado jayam udirayed. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Chapter 11, text 54. Bhaktya tvananyaya sakya ahamevam vidorjuna jnadum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parandava. Bhaktya tvananyaya sakya ahamevam vidorjuna jnadum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parandava. Bhaktya tvananyaya sakya ahamevam vidorjuna jnadum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parandava. Translation. My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Purport. Krishna can be understood only by the process of undivided devotional service. He explicitly explains this in this verse so that unauthorized commentators who try to understand Bhagavad Gita by the speculative process will know that they are simply wasting their time. No one can understand Krishna or how he came from parents in a four-handed form and at once changed himself into a two-handed form. These things are very difficult to understand by study of the Vedas or by philosophical speculation. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that no one can see him or enter into understanding of these matters. Those who, however, are very experienced students of Vedic literature can learn about him from the Vedic literature in so many ways. There are so many rules and regulations, and if one at all wants to understand Krishna, he must follow the regulative principles described in the authoritative literature. One can perform penance in accordance with those principles. For example, to undergo serious penances, one may observe fasting on Janmashtami, the day on which Krishna appeared, and on the 2 days of Ekadasi, the 11th day after the new moon and the 11th day after the full moon. As far as charity is concerned, it is plain that charity should be given to the devotees of Krishna who are engaged in his devotional service to spread the Krishna philosophy or Krishna consciousness throughout the world. Krishna consciousness is a benediction to humanity. Lord Chaitanya was appreciated by Rupa Goswami as the most munificent man of charity because love of Krishna, which is very difficult to achieve, was distributed freely by him. So if one gives some amount of his money to persons involved in distributing Krishna consciousness, that charity given to spread Krishna consciousness is the greatest charity in the world. And if one worships as prescribed in the temple, in the temples in India, there is always some statue, usually of Vishnu or Krishna. That is a chance to progress by offering worship and respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the beginners in devotional service to the Lord, temple worship is essential, and this is confirmed in the Vedic literature Svetasvatara Upanishad 6.23. Yasya deve para bhaktir yada deve tada gurau tasyaire kadira hyarta pragasande mahatmanah. One who has unflinching devotion for the Supreme Lord and is directed by the spiritual master in whom he has similar unflinching faith, can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead by revelation. One cannot understand Krishna by mental speculation. For one who does not take personal training under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, it is impossible to even begin to understand Krishna. The word tu is specifically used here to indicate that no other process can be used, can be recommended, or can be successful in understanding Krishna. The personal forms of Krishna, the two-handed form and the four-handed, are described as Sudurdarsham, very difficult to see. They are completely different from the temporary universal form shown to Arjuna. The four-handed form of Narayana and the two-handed form of Krishna are eternal and transcendental, whereas the universal form exhibited to Arjuna is temporary. The words Twadanyena Nadrishtabhurvam state that before Arjuna, no one had seen that universal form. Also, they suggest that amongst the devotees there was no necessity of showing it. That form was exhibited by Krishna at the request of Arjuna, so that in the future, when one represents himself as an incarnation of God, people can ask to see his universal form. The word na, used repeatedly in the previous verse, indicates that one should not be very much proud of such credentials as an academic education in Vedic literature. One must take to the devotional service of Krishna. Only then can one attempt to write commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. Krishna changes from the universal form to the four-handed form of Narayana and then to his own natural form of two hands. This indicates that the 400 forms and other forms mentioned in Vedic literature are all emanations of the original 200 Krishna. He is the origin of all emanations. Krishna is distinct even from these forms. What to speak of impersonal conception? As far as the 400 forms of Krishna are concerned, it is stated clearly that even the most identical 400 form of Krishna, which is known as Mahavishnu, who is lying on the cosmic ocean and from whose breathing so many innumerable universes are passing out and entering, is also an expansion of the Supreme Lord. As stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.48, Yasyaiganiswatitakalamadavalambya jivandiloma vilaja jagadandanadah Vishnurmahan saigayasya kalabhishesho govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. The Mahavishnu into whom all the innumerable universes enter and from whom they come forth again simply by his breathing process is a plenary expansion of Krishna. Therefore, I worship Govinda, Krishna, the cause of all causes. Om Tat Sat. Om Ajnanatimirandusya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurunmilijam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhudale Srimade Jayapataga Swaminidhi Namine Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Gada Damadaya Nagara Gramadharine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhudale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swaminidhi Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desadarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here Krishna is saying, after showing the universal form, he is speaking to Arjuna. This is the last sloka in the 11th chapter. Bhaktya tu ananyaya sakya ahamevam vidorjuna. So Krishna cannot be understood or seen by any other process except pure bhakti. Krishna is saying this. And also in the 18th chapter, Krishna is saying that bhaktyamam abhijanadi yavan ischasmi tatvadaha tado mam tatvado jnatva vishodedat anandaram. Who can understand Krishna and who can enter into the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavana? Everybody cannot enter into Goloka Vrindavana. Vishade means entering. One who has developed pure love, bhaktya. Bhaktya means pure devotion, pure love. Only when it is developed, then only he can understand Krishna and he can only enter into Goloka Vrindavana. Because when we develop pure love for Krishna, that time alone our false ego is dissolved. Till that time we will be loitering here only in this material world with a false ego. False ego is the cause for our repeated birth and death cycle in this material world. But bhakti means it's completely opposite to false ego. In fact, bhakti will manifest only when false ego is dissolved. Prabhupada is writing in ninth chapter, second sloka in the purport, is writing that actual devotional service begins after liberation. He has written. What is the meaning of that actual devotional service? Yes, devotees are also doing devotional service. Then why Prabhupada is writing in 9.2? Actual devotional service begins after liberation. Because only in the liberated state, our false ego is dissolved. And in that state, if we do even a little service to the Lord, immediately he will develop love for Krishna. The classic example is Sanat Kumaras. Sanat Kumaras, they were the four sons of Lord Brahma. They were in Brahmabhuta state. Brahmabhuta state means false ego is dissolved. That means they are in the understanding that I am spirit soul. They don't act in the bodily platform. We all know theory-wise that we are spirit soul, we are not this body. But we will act in the bodily platform only, repeatedly, again and again. This is the influence of false ego. But Sanat Kumaras, they were in the Brahmabhuta stage. And what they did, Sanat Kumaras, they were always like 4-year-old babies only. Even though they were the oldest rishis, because the first four sons of Lord Brahma means the oldest rishis. But they were look like always like a 4-year-old babies only. They will never grow old beyond that. So they tried to enter into Vaikuntha. They crossed 6 gates of Vaikuntha. When they tried to enter the 7th gate, the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, the personal servants of Lord Narayana, Jaya and Vijaya, they stopped them, thinking that they are all children. How children can enter into Vaikuntha? Because they looked like 4-year-old babies only. They were not wearing any dress, but they were the oldest rishis. Because of their siddhis, yogic siddhis, they stopped old age. Those things and all, we don't know. We don't know how to do that. So, Jaya and Vijaya, they thought they are simply children. How they can enter? They stopped. Sanat Kumaras became very angry. They gave curse to Jaya and Vijaya. You are servants of Lord Narayana. You are standing in the entrance of Vaikuntha. How can you be envious? A very important point. Paramo nirmatsaranam sadam vedyam. Who can understand Krishna? One who is 100% non-envious towards the Lord. Only he can understand. That means, are we envious? Yes, we are all envious only. We are all envious of Krishna. We may not say explicitly. We may not say explicitly that I am envious of Krishna, but we will act in such a way that I am envying Krishna. How? In the 5th chapter, the last sloka, it's mentioned, Bhaktaram, Ajñatapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Sugridam Sarvabhudanam, Nyatva Santi Mrichadi. Krishna is giving peace formula. Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, he is saying. If anyone understands these three principles, Krishna is the only enjoyer, and Krishna is the supreme controller, and Krishna is the best friend of all the jivas. Whoever understands this, they will attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. Even devotees also have not understood this. Because devotees are not, even devotees are also not freed from the threefold miseries. Correct or not? We are also suffering. Threefold miseries are there. Sufferings caused by our own body and mind, sufferings caused by nature, and sufferings caused by other living entities. They are called threefold miseries. Tapatraya. Even devotees, the practitioners of Bhakti Yoga, they are also undergoing these three sufferings. But as per the sloka, whoever has understood that Krishna is the only enjoyer, and Krishna is the supreme controller, Krishna is the best friend of all the spirit souls, then they don't have to undergo threefold miseries. That means understanding. It is not simply knowing theory wise that Krishna is the only enjoyer. It means I am not the enjoyer. When we say Krishna is the only enjoyer, that means I am not the enjoyer. That means I should not act in such a way that I am. Many situations, we will try to enjoy the material world. Correct or not? Right? New Year came and everybody were in the enjoyment spirit. This is the proof that we have not understood that Krishna is the only enjoyer. We are all trying to be the enjoyer in minute ways. But we will not say explicitly that I am envious of Krishna. Envy means subtly we are thinking only Krishna is the enjoyer. No. I also want to be. I also want to enjoy. I will also try in many ways. Only Krishna is the supreme controller? No. I also want to dominate. I want to dominate people. And everybody should listen to my opinion. Subtly we will influence, This is the meaning of envying Krishna. We all came here because of envying only. Envying Krishna only. We are having these three attitudes. Siddhoham, Bhoktaham, Iswaroham. These three swabhava attitudes are deep rooted within the conditioned souls. Iswaroham means I am the controller. Right? Everybody is trying to dominate, others in many ways. But Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, I am the only controller. Yeswara Parama Krishna. Krishna is the supreme controller. We are all subordinate only to him. But Jiva is tough. The spirit soul is very tough. Again and again misusing our free will. And we are trying to be the predominator. This is the meaning of envying Krishna. Envy, it is very subtle. Envy, it is very, very subtle. Because we are envying Krishna, that is the biggest envy. That is why the envy is reflected amongst the colleagues in a small way. In a small way, actually. Very, very subtle. Oh no, one may argue, no, I am a servant of Krishna, I am a devotee of Krishna. I am not envying the Lord. One may argue. But Krishna is watching as Paramatma. That is why Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart as Paramatma. He is watching. He is a CCTV camera. He is the biggest CCTV camera. You are under surveillance. He is watching all our activities. Everybody. Everywhere. Krishna is sitting as Paramatma. No, he is watching. What type of activities are you doing? He is watching. So when we try to enjoy the matter in some situations, then immediately Krishna will notice, no, you have envy. Then I will not allow you. I will not allow you to come back to Goloka. This envy should become zero. Devotee means, yes, yada tadava vidadadulambado mat prana nadastu sayeva napara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Lord himself, he is teaching. You can handle me in any way you want. You can give me your blessings, or you can roughly handle me also, putting me in difficult situation. Still, you are my unconditional Lord. This is the attitude of a devotee, pure devotee. So that is why most of the time, devotees are also actually the so-called practitioners of Bhakti Yoga also are performing only mixed devotion. Mixed devotion only they are doing. Pure devotion service is very rare. Very, very rare. Vasudeva Sarvamidhi Samahatma Sudurlabha. Krishna is saying, Mahatma. He is a Mahatma. Who is Mahatma? Vasudeva Sarvamidhi. For me, everything is Krishna. That conclusion, he should be convinced with that conclusion. For me, everything is Krishna. No, it is the attitude, no? Right? It is an attitude. It is not simply external actions. For me, everything is Krishna. Gopis, no, they were like that. Gopis, Padisudanvaya Bratru Bandhavan Adivilangya Dendi Achudagada Gadividastavod Gida Mohida Kidavayosida Kasyajain Nishi. The Gopis, they were married. But when Krishna started playing this flute in the middle of Vrindavana forest, in the dead of night, as soon as when they heard this flute sound, Gopis, they gave up their connection with their husbands and children, Sutta, Bratra, connection with the brothers. They simply rushed to the Vrindavana forest. This is unconditional love. Unconditional love. The moralists, no? Moralists in this material world, they will criticize gopis. Married girls, how they can dance with Krishna. Ordinary moralist will say like this only. But the gopis are not bothered about all these criticism. But they simply want to please the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Giving up everything. So, pure love, no, it's very, very rare. He is fully convinced. I want only Krishna. I don't want anything. That's the meaning of Anya Abhilashita Sunyam. Anya Abhilashita Sunyam means other than Krishna, not at all having any desires. That is the Lakshana, that is the symptom of a pure devotion. Not at all having any desires apart from Krishna, apart from pleasing Krishna. That is the definition. Srila Rupa Goswami, the direct disciple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is giving definition for Uttama Bhakti. So that type of bhakti only Krishna is addressing here. Bhaktya tu ananyaya sakya agamevam vidorjuna. When we develop that pure love for the Lord, then Krishna will reveal himself. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrutaha. Krishna is covered. He is covering himself with yogamaya potency, with his divine potency. Yogamaya, the divine potency, he is covering himself always. So he is not revealed to everyone. Even to the practitioners of Bhakti Yoga also. Correct or not? We are not able to see Paramatma inside the heart. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita. Paramatma is sitting in everyone's heart as Param, right? Lord is sitting. But we are not able to see Paramatma, no? Even a second we are not able to see. Krishna cannot be seen. That's why Krishna is saying here, only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. This is a mystery. This is the meaning of transcendence. Transcendence means beyond the influence of the three modes. Only when we rise to that stage, Krishna will relate with us. We can see Krishna. And Krishna will do pastimes with us. Only in that state. We are always under the influence of the lower modes. That is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Trabir Gunamayer Bhavair Yevi Sarvamidam Jagat Mohidam Nabhijanadi Mamepya Paramavyayam. Nabhijanadi. If we are influenced by the three modes, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Nabhijanadi, he cannot understand me. That is why we are not able to see Krishna. But in the 6th chapter, Krishna is saying, Jidatmana prashandasya paramatma samahidaha. One who has conquered his mind, he has already reached Paramatma. Right? Paramatma is sitting very close to Atma. Atma is there and Paramatma is there. Both are situated in the heart. Always Paramatma is sitting very close to Jiva. But Krishna is saying, we can reach Paramatma only if we conquer our mind. That means, in the opposite way, we can say, we are not able to see Paramatma. That means we have not conquered our own mind. So, Bhakti, again Krishna is saying here, only by undivided devotional service. What is the meaning of this? Undivided devotional service. Same type of word is used in the 14th chapter also. Unfailing in all circumstances. See, Jiva, by constitutional position, he has to serve. He has to serve somebody else. This is the nature of the Jiva, to lean on something. We have to depend on something else. Always. We are not like Krishna. Krishna is Abhijna Swarat. He is fully independent. Krishna need not depend on anybody else. Even to gopis also. When Krishna was dancing with all the gopis in Rasa dance, the gopis, of course, that is actually transcendental symptoms only. We cannot simply see that it is a material symptom. The gopis, they were little proud. That pride is transcendental pride. Not like we are experiencing pride. That is a material pride. The gopis were thinking the Supreme Lord is dancing with me only. The gopis were little proud. As soon as Krishna saw this, Krishna suddenly disappeared, giving up the company of the gopis. Krishna is proving that I am independent. Atma Rama. Atma Rama means Atma Arama. He is enjoying within himself. He need not depend on anybody else for enjoyment. We are not like that. We have to depend on something else, externally. So Jiva, spirit soul, has to serve. Either Maya or Krishna. It cannot be without serving. This is the constitutional position of the Jiva. The intrinsic quality of the Jiva. It cannot be separated from Atma. It is like fire is there. The intrinsic quality of the fire is heat and light. It cannot be separated from the fire. Right? When we separate heat and light from the fire, then it is no more fire. In the same way, Atma also is having these three qualities. We can never separate from Atma. These three things. One is consciousness, another is service attitude, another quality is independence. Independence. These three qualities are always with the Jiva. We are having this consciousness, independence, and service attitude. That is why in the perverted state we are serving Maya instead of Krishna. Correct or not? Everyone is serving somebody else. Students are serving their parents. Family head is serving his own family. National leaders, they are serving the nation. Everyone has to serve. It is perverted now. Our constitutional position is to serve Krishna. Because we are having this enjoyment tendency apart from Krishna or away from Krishna, then we are forced to serve Maya. So we are all serving Maya only. One may ask, no, I am not able to see Maya. Then how can you say that I am serving Maya? Maya is the external potency of the Lord. Invincibly, she is dictating all of us by applying the modes, three gunas. When Rajoguna influences us, then we will develop a particular type of desire. Particular faith will be created within us. Correct or not? Particular inclination towards a specific enjoyment. Asamaspriha is mentioned. Rajasye dani jayande vivritte paradarshapa. Asamaspriha means when Rajoguna influences, uncontrollable desire will manifest. Correct or not? We are all having material desires. Repeatedly it is coming now. Impelled by the modes. Helplessly we will act. We will be dragged towards material enjoyment. This is the meaning of serving Maya. Unknowingly we are doing. When Tamoguna influences, we will like to sleep for a long period. We will enjoy in sleeping. That is also we are serving Maya. In this way, whole material activities, Trivir Gunamair Bhavair Yevi Sarvamidam Jagat. The whole Jagat, the whole material world is influenced by these three modes. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. All activities are carried out by these three modes only. Even the lower level species also. First we have to be freed from all these influences. Then only we can see Krishna. We can serve Krishna actually. Prabhupada's argument is, suppose the Prime Minister is there. Everyone cannot become the
personal servant of a prime minister. It's not possible, right? After all, one prime minister of a small country, even to this person, if anyone wants to act as a personal servant, it is not easy. And what to speak of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, who is the controller of the entire material world and also the spiritual worlds. Asamaurdva. Nobody is equal to Krishna and nobody is above Krishna. So when we want to become servant of Krishna, it will not happen immediately. We have to give up all our contaminations. Then only we can go near to Krishna. That is why undivided devotional service. Undivided means in all the situations, selecting our individuality that we should serve Krishna only. That decision we have to take. We may be a devotee chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, performing devotional service, but in some situations we will serve Maya. Correct or not? Individually we would have experienced. In some situations we may specifically we will decide to forget Krishna and I want to enjoy materially. Correct or not? So that is why it is mentioned undivided devotional service. Krishna is demanding this. Undivided means the connection with Krishna. We should never lose that connection in all situations. If anyone is performing devotional service like that, it is called bhakti. Then only you can cross the influence of the modes. Mamchayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevade. Bhakti yogena sevade. Sevade means serving, performing service. Through bhakti yoga. Yes, through bhakti yoga we can do service. We can chant Krishna's names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, Prabhupada is saying Navavida Bhakti is there. 9 types of devotional service. Even one devotional service, if we do continuously, then you can attain perfection. Prabhupada is writing. Okay, even to chant Krishna's names all the time. That also we are not able to do, no? Correct or not? We are not able to do. Devotees have experienced. We want to chant Krishna's names all the time. Something, mind is doing something, we are forgetting. This is the meaning of listening to the dictations of the mind. That mind is operating under false ego. Helplessly we are carried away. We want to chant Krishna's names all the time, at least devotees, but we are forgetting. When we deal with matter, when we deal with the minute nitty-gritties of the material life, we will forget chanting Krishna's names. That is why developing pure love, it is very, very rare. Okay, so acharyas are prescribing. Yes, that is the highest stage, but we have to put some baby steps, no? At some point of time, we should learn to walk towards the Lord. Some baby steps at least. So that is what acharyas are prescribing. Okay, at least chant 108 times of Hare Krishna Mantra every day to start with. But our goal is to chant Hare Krishna Mantra all the time. Then only he can cross the influence of the lower modes. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. That conviction, that determination, that should manifest within us. Correct or not? To chant Krishna's names all the time, no? It requires great determination internally. Yadandasya Dridavridaha. Dridavridaha means endeavoring with great determination. We are all with great determination, we are performing material activities from crores of janmas. But same determination we should turn towards chanting Krishna's names because I am servant of Krishna. That is the meaning of spiritual life. That is the meaning of undivided devotional service. Any one out of 9 types of devotional service, any one activity, that is chanting Krishna's names or hearing about Krishna or remembering Krishna or doing namaskar to the Lord, very easy only. Prabhupada was saying in one letter, chanting Hare Krishna is very simple, but one should practice this very seriously. That is where actually the hitch is there. Very, very simple, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, but one should practice this very seriously. Means all the time we should chant Krishna's names. That habit, that desire, that determination, we should develop it within us. Then proportionately, Krishna is watching. Okay, very good, very good. He is chanting my names. He is trying to chant my names maximum time. Then proportionately he will respond. He will reciprocate with us. Our anarthas, the unwanted desires in our heart, it will be erased proportionately. In this way only, slowly we will be freed from the influence of the modes, 3 modes, sattva, rajas, tamas. Only when we are freed completely from the influence of the modes, then only we can see Krishna. Krishna is ready to give his darshan to everyone. But Lord Brahma, his deep realization, he is writing in Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochonena Santas Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayandi Yam Shyama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tapakam Bhajami. Very beautiful sloka. Who can see Krishna? He is saying, Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is the highest authority, no? For us. But that Lord Brahma also is subordinate to Krishna only. He is giving his realization. How to see Krishna? We want to see Krishna, no? We have that desire, but he is giving the method. First, Bhakti Vilojanena. Bhakti eyes, it should manifest. We know only this eyes, no? Right? This eyes only we know. This eyes, it will give problems. All types of problems. Cataract will form. Short sight, long sight. Through these eyes we cannot see Krishna. We want a different eyes. Bhakti Vilojanena. How to develop that bhakti eyes? It is a puzzle. No? That is why Krishna is saying, mysteries of my understanding. Repeatedly when we do this, when we chant more and more Krishna's names, constantly, Shunvandi Gayandi Gurunandi Abhikshnasaha Smarandi Nandandi Tavehidam Janaha Tayeva Pasyandi Achurena Tavagam Bhavapravaho Uparamam Padambujam. Kunti Devi is saying, who can see Krishna? Tayeva Pasyandi. Pasyandi means seeing Krishna. Kunti Devi is giving recommendation. Abhikshnasaga, that word is important. Abhikshnasaga means continuously. Continuously, if anyone is chanting Krishna's names, Gayandi or Srinvandi, continuously hearing Krishna's glories. Why this is recommended? Continuously. Because when we don't do this continuous hearing of Krishna or continuous chanting of Krishna's names, immediately we will serve Maya. When we stop this, we will serve Maya. Because our constitutional position is to serve. That cannot be eliminated from Atma. So when we stop serving Krishna, immediately we will serve Maya. That is why Kunti Devi is saying, Abhishnasaka, continuously, whoever is chanting Krishna's names or hearing about Krishna continuously or remembering the Lord, remembrance, remembering Krishna's beauty, Krishna's wonderful qualities, Krishna's leelas, remembering about that. If anyone is doing this continuously, Tayeva Pashyandi. She is giving guarantee. Certainly he will see Padambujam, the lotus feet of the Lord. Krishna's beautiful lotus feet. He can see, he can have darshan. Certainly. But the criteria is continuously. So our aim is, okay, initially we may chant Hare Krishna Mantra 108 times. Very good. But our goal is Sadadam Gita Vandoma. Continuously. If that is not achieved in this Janma, we have to achieve in some other Janmas. At least after 10 Janmas or 100 Janmas. That continuous, performing continuous devotional service. Only when we are raised to that stage, then only we can see the lotus feet of the Lord. Very, very rare. That is the meaning of Bhakti Vilochanena. That Bhakti eyes, we should develop it. And Premanjana. Premanjana means the ointment of love. For the Bhakti eyes, it is decorated, if it is decorated with the ointment of love, then he can see Santas Sadaiva Hridayeshu. Hridayeshu Vilokayandi, in the heart. Santas, that type of pure devotees. Jai Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maharani ki. That type of pure devotees, Santas. He can see the Shyama Sundara Krishna, the beautiful two-handed form of Krishna. He can see always, Sadaiva. Only when we develop that bhakti eyes, and that eyes should be anointed with the ointment of love, prema, and only you can see Krishna. Lord Brahma is giving his realization. So, first we should take a decision to chant Krishna's names or to perform some devotional service to the Lord. It is mixed only. It is mixed devotional service only. It is not pure. Because we are not freed from the influence of the modes. So we are performing devotional service with the influence of the modes only. So it is mixed only. But when we do this continuously, then Krishna will release us from the influence of the modes, or we will be freed from the influence of false ego. That is called Nishtita Bhajana Kriya. Nishtita Bhajana Kriya. Steady devotional service. So here also Prabhupada is translating an undivided devotional service. Before we reach the stage of Nishtita Bhajana Kriya, we will undergo Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. Anishtita Bhajana Kriya means unsteady devotional service. Unsteady devotional service we will undergo. Yes, we will chant Hare Krishna Mantra 108 times, and after completing that, we will have that enjoyment mentality. We will go towards matter. Again we will lament, oh, why I went behind this material enjoyment. Again we will do chanting Krishna's names or worshipping Krishna or reading Bhagavad Gita. Again we will go behind towards the material enjoyment. Correct or not? This is called Anishtita Bhajana Kriya, unsteady devotional service. This is a stage. This is a stage we have to undergo. The devotee, while undergoing this unsteady devotional service, actually it is a painful process. Devotee will lament, oh, why I behind this? Why I went behind the material enjoyment? I want to serve Krishna because I am servant of Krishna. Nitya Das, I am eternal servant of Krishna. Why I served Maya? In particular situation, he will lament, repenting. This repentance, it will purify the jiva, and his determination will increase. And his performance of devotional service also will be increasing gradually. In this way only, sometimes it may take janmas also. Depends upon our seriousness. So when we reach the stage of Nishtita Bhajana Kriya, Bhaktir Bhavadi Naistiki is mentioned. Naistiki means Nishta, steady. Steady devotional service means he will not serve Maya in any situation. That is the meaning of steady devotional service. So Krishna is demanding that type of devotional service. Only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am. Prabhupada is writing in the purport, Shyama Sundara Krishna is very, very rare. Lord Narayana, Vishnu, they are all expansions of Krishna only. When Krishna showed this universal form to Arjuna, Arjuna was always in Sakya Rasa. He was always exhibiting his love towards Krishna in the Sakya, in the friendship flavor. So he was in that relationship with the Lord. So when Arjuna wanted to see the universal form of the Lord, okay, Krishna, since you are asking, I will show you. It's not required for you because you are already in love. So why you want to see my universal form, which is ghastly form? Okay, I will give you a different eyes to see that. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, one of the important acharya in our Sampradaya, he is giving a very beautiful explanation. Suppose somebody is drinking honey. Honey, the condensed sweet. Condensed sweetness. Somebody is drinking honey. And if he wants to taste jaggery juice, if he drinks jaggery juice immediately, then he cannot experience the jaggery juice because he has already experienced the condensed sweetness. What he has to do? He has to drink water and nullify the condensed sweetness. Then after that, if he drink this jaggery juice, then he can experience that jaggery sweetness. Correct or not? This is the explanation given by the acharyas. In the same way, Arjuna was already experiencing that condensed sweetness. He was having that love for the Lord in the friendship attitude. So that Arjuna wanted to see the lower form of the Lord, that is universal form. So with this prema, you have already developed a prema. With this eyes you cannot see this universal form. It's not actually proper. I will give you a different eyes. Pachame Yogamaheswaram. The lower level eyes I will give you. Nullifying the effect of that experiencing love. No? So he is giving that lower level eyes. So with that eye, Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord, but he is already relishing that love. No? So when he saw this ghastly form of the Lord, universal form, Vida Pranamya, he was afraid actually. Arjuna said, no, I don't want to see this anymore, this universal form. Universal form of the Lord is only for atheists. Atheists, no, they don't believe the supremacy of the Lord. Just to attract all those people, the universal form is required. Not for the devotees who have already developed love. For them it is not required. So only for those people, Arjuna asked this question. I want to see the universal form. So when Arjuna saw that universal form, he said, I don't want to see anymore. I am afraid. Vida Pranamya. Again and again, I am doing namaskar. Then Krishna, to pacify him, he showed his four-handed form, Lord Narayana form. Again, Arjuna is not satisfied. Because Arjuna has developed that love towards the Shyama Sundara Krishna, two-handed form of the Lord. That is the original form of the Lord. From that two-handed form of the Lord only, Lord Vishnu or Narayana is manifesting. That is expansion. When we see Narayana, immediately we will offer respect only. That respect attitude only will manifest. Showing love, no, that will not come. But when we see the two-handed form of the Lord, 12-year-old Shyama Sundara Krishna, 12-year-old boy, we will develop that affinity, right? Affection, without any respect. That is the highest form. That is the highest worship. Arjuna was in that state. So even after seeing the 400 form of the Lord, Arjuna was not pacified. Then Krishna showed his 200 form. And this 200 form can be seen only by undivided devotional service. That is what Lord Brahma also is saying. To see Shyamasundara Krishna, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. One may be very expert in the scriptures. Vedeshu Durlabham. Same thing Prabhupada is writing in the purport. One may be very expert in the scriptures, scholar. He may be a great scholar in the scripture. Still, he cannot see Krishna. Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. Atma Bhakto means, again it is a very beautiful word. Atma Bhakto means pure devotee, one who has developed love for the Lord. Under his direction, if we perform loving devotional service to Krishna, then Adurlabham, very easily we can get Krishna. Recently I read a very beautiful quote. Actually, Krishna is easily accessible for those who have renounced ahankara, the sins of I. Ahankara means the sins of I. But for those who are with ahankara, there is a mountain range between them and the Lord. This is a quotation from the scripture. I forgot the name of the scripture. So when we perform devotional service with ahankara, with false ego, there is a mountain range between them and the Lord. Very vast distance is there. So we have to go, we have to travel. So it is possible. So we can reach the Supreme Lord only by the Kunti Devi's method, the continuously. When we perform continuous devotional service, any one of the devotional service, that is either chanting or hearing about Krishna or remembering the Lord. His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj is saying, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. These three activities, it will please the Supreme Lord. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Shravanam means hearing about Krishna, Kirtanam, chanting Krishna's names, and Smaranam, remembering the Lord. These three activities, no, that will please the Supreme Lord. One of the direct disciples of Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj is saying this in his lectures. So, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, we have to increase more and more. Every day we have to increase it. If we don't increase our devotional service, then we will be forced to serve Maya only. There is no other way. There is no other option. We have to serve somebody else. So, this undivided devotional service, this is the meaning of that. So, the same word only Krishna is using in the 14th chapter, Avyabhicharena Bhakti Yogena Sevade, unfailing in all circumstances. This is the meaning of Nitya Das. Divya Surabhoi, Krishnera Nitya Das. Nitya Das, we should underline it. The Swarupa or the constitutional position of the Jiva is to serve Krishna eternally, or he is the eternal servant of the Lord. Eternal servant of the Lord means I should not serve Maya in any situation. That is the meaning of eternal servant. So this will take some time. It may take many janmas also for somebody else. It depends upon our intensity. His Grace Mahatma Prabhu, one of the direct disciples of Srila Prabhupada, he was giving very nice example. With that, I will finish it. Suppose a huge vessel is there, full of cold water, and if we want to boil it, the chimney underneath that, it is burning very in a low volume. So definitely water will be boiled, but it will take time, because chimney is burning very low, in a low quantity only. If we want to boil this water quickly, then what we have to do? We have to increase the chimney. In the same way, we are all doing devotional service chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, they are all doing. They are practitioners of Bhakti Yoga. So the water is getting boiled, no? It is like all the anarthas are erased. That is the stage. But our chimney is burning very low. That means we are performing out of 24 hours, very short time only we are allocating for the Lord. The chimney, we have to increase it. Then water will be boiled quickly. In this Janma itself, we will develop love for Krishna. That is again our free will. How we are using our independence. The real use of independence is to develop dependence on Krishna. That is the real use of our independence. So we have to increase our chimney. That is chanting more and more Hare Krishna Mantra. More and more. We have to fill up our time with Krishna. In any of the 9 types of devotional service. Then we can go back to Krishna. In the Janma itself. So, but again, nobody can interfere in the independence of the jiva. Even Krishna will not interfere. Yadachasi tada guru, Krishna is saying, after speaking the whole Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Yadachasi tada guru, you just act as per your desire. Krishna will not interfere in our minute free will. We should only exercise our free will properly after studying all the scriptures. No, this is good for me. I want to go back to Krishna. I don't want to loiter in this material world. It's full of sufferings only. We should be convinced with this philosophy. Yes, this material world is full of sufferings only. But again and again we are repeatedly thinking, no, I can be comfortable in this material world. This is our misusing our independence only. This attitude is developed. We should be convinced the material world is full of sufferings only. Krishna has already mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, when the Supreme Lord has mentioned, there cannot be more than this any truth. Correct or not? Right? So we should be convinced and we want to go back to Krishna's planet, Goloka Vrindavana. For that, the eligibility is love for Krishna. Only when we have love for Krishna, we can enter into Goloka. There is no shortcut. We cannot give a donation or recommendation to enter into Goloka Vrindavana. Like getting admission in the college now. They will pay donation or some recommendation and all. Those things will not work out. Love for Krishna is the criteria to enter into Goloka Vrindavana. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Hare Krishna. Anybody have any questions? Any comments? யாராவது கேள்விகளும் கருத்துக்களும் இருந்தாலும் ஏதாவது கேட்கலாம் தமிழ்ல கூட.
False ego. In our day-to-day life, we do devotional services. But how do I know that I am doing with false ego or I am doing with the real ego?
Nice question. Very nice question. For the devotees, for the practitioners of Bhakti Yoga is asking this question. We are all doing devotional service, chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mantra, preaching Krishna's glories. How do I know whether I am doing with false ego or not? When we perform devotional service without false ego, immediately we will go into the ecstasy stage. And we cannot sleep. We will feel separation from Krishna, like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited in his personal pastimes. He will be crying, feeling separation from the Lord. He cannot eat and sleep. The restlessness will be there because of separation from the Lord. That is the meaning of performing devotional service without false ego. Prabhupada also is writing in 9.2, actual devotional service begins after liberation. after liberation means false ego is dissolved, or renouncing our false ego. Only in that state, if we perform even a little devotional service. See, it's an interesting thing. I was explaining that Sanat Kumaras, they were in Brahmaputra stage, that there was no contamination, and they simply smelled the tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of the Lord. Correct? If suppose, Prabhu, what service you are doing? Prabhu, I am doing smelling flowers offered to the Lord. Nobody will consider that this is a devotional service. Correct or not? In our conditioned state. But what that service only they did. They simply smelled the aroma of the tulsi leaves offered to Lord Narayana. Small service only. Immediately they developed ecstasy. Why? Because they were in Brahmabhuta stage. So when we are in Brahmabhuta stage, performing little devotional service, it will give us prema. But with false ego, when we do devotional service, it has to be continuous. A little devotional service is not enough. It has to be continuous. That is what the prescription given by Kunti Devi. Kunti Devi is prescribing for all the conditioned souls only. For those who are performing with false ego. So false ego, it is always there for all of us. We are all dealing with the world with a false ego only. If false ego is dissolved, then we cannot deal with the world. As Holiness Sachinandana Swami Maharaj was explaining very nicely. Suppose somebody wants to swim deep inside the ocean, some 50 miles deep inside the ocean. He should have a different dress, different, right, oxygen bottle and so many things. Different dress he should wear. Then only he can swim deep 50 miles under the ocean. Somebody is standing in the seashore. He can wear a natural dress. Correct? The same way, becoming very active inside the material world, we should have a different dress that is called false ego. That's a different dress we are wearing. With that dress only we are very active inside the material world. But those who are standing in the seashore, that is Goloka Vrindavana, they are wearing natural dress without false ego. Sachidananda form. Spiritual body they are having. So we are all very active in the material world. That means I am having artificial dress only we are wearing. Suppose the person who is swimming deep inside the ocean is wearing all oxygen cylinder and so different type of glass. It's artificial, artificial dress only. It is not a natural dress. But in the seashore he is wearing pants, shirt, it's a natural dress. For our example I am saying, for our understanding. In the same way, false ego is artificial for the jiva. Possessing false ego, it is artificial. That is why, I forgot the name of the scripture. We have to renounce our false ego. Then Lord is easily accessible. Because Krishna is also saying, Nirmamo Nirahangaraha. A pure devotee is Nirahangaraha. He is freed from false ego. Such a devotee is very dear to me, Krishna is saying. Krishna is not saying a devotee with false ego is very dear to me. No. He is not saying like that. Nirahangaraha. That type of devotee only is dear to me. One who is freed from false ego is dear to me. These are all deep understandings are there in the scriptures. You have to study carefully. So we are all performing with false ego only. Suppose if false ego is dissolved, then we will not have hunger. Hunger or thirsty feelings. Maya is throwing repeatedly all these whips. 6 whips are there, So when she throws a particular whip, then immediately will develop the thirsty feeling or hunger. So this itself is a proof that I am performing devotional service with false ego. Okay, Prabhu? Right? Hare Krishna. We have a long way to go to reach Krishna's lotus feet. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Okay, we thank His Grace Srinivasa Prabhu for a wonderful class on Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Please sit down another 2 minutes. Today's Sunday feast sponsored by Krishna Kumar Prabhu and family, the memory of his mother Ranganagi Ammal, the first anniversary. Hare Krishna, இன்றைய ஞாயிறு விருந்தின் பிரசாத உபகிதாரர் கிருஷ்ணகுமார் மற்றும் அவருடைய